Alright, now that we got that business out of the way, good Monday afternoon, friends and neighbors. Tesweegi at the desk with the first edition of the Flying Purple Baseball Beaters, the Colorado Rockies. We are trying to do our level best to do better than the real Rockies have done, which means winning a division title, winning a World Series, and making it to more than one World Series in total. We're starting at the point of origination, the 1992 expansion draft. And we are going to have some fun. This is the first time I've done MLB, and as a result, it's the first time I'm going to be managing at all these minor league levels. So I'm going to be leaning on y'all for advice on that, especially how much I do in that space. And yes, Packy holidays, everyone! Double drops are active for all Out of the Park affiliates this week as we head into Christmas. First night of Hanukkah was last night, so Chag Hanukkah Sameach to all of y'all out there celebrating. I've got latkes in the fridge myself. Great Scott, good to hear that the drops are working. Grizzly Old Dude and La Boomstick, good to hear from the two of you. Have good afternoon. Hopefully your week is off to a rockin' start. So yes, the Colorado Rockies. Our goal is not to suck completely. I'm not sure which house rules I'm going to apply here, the Bork rule or the Kozono rule, given that it's a brand new save. This is the second time I've done an expansion team. The time before that was the Shizuoka Arrows in the league we can't mention anymore. It'll be interesting to see what's available. What I will say is, I have a theory on how to work with Mile High Stadium and later on Coors Field. If we take a look at the... By the way, I do have the game setup from Silva M. So we have a 76,000 capacity converted football stadium as our ballpark for the next two seasons. Say hello to Mile High. So I don't know how many people we're going to be able to fill into this place. Kudos to Silva M for the modification. We take a look at the park profile. Yeah, lots of BABIP, and it favors right-handed batters. I don't know if Coors Field is equally right-handed friendly, so we got to be mindful of that, but it also means any base on ball, or any batted ball, is going to make our lives miserable. So I'm thinking we need to focus on contact and power for our batters. Normally, like you remember the last save we did was I and avoid K. The save before that was contact and avoid K. This save, I'm thinking we should lean into the contact and power, which might also align with the real Rockies. Before we get too far into like the expansion draft and stuff, I got a little crazy flinging around some minor league contracts because there is no such thing as a bad minor league deal. I also don't want to spend money on anyone too expensive just yet. We only have $4 million right now available to us. So what I've done is send out a bunch of minor league contracts to guys like Jason Bates here, who could play up the middle. Troy Buckley, catcher with multiple position availability. Eddie Christian, who could turn into something. Chris Klapinski. Again, multi-position. I'm thinking let's at least focus on the defense. Angel Echeverria. Yes, the scouting accuracy is low. We'll see if he actually turns into something decent. But he's got the power and contact. Definitely could play a corner outfield decently. Scott Leedy. The one I'm most eager to... Oh yeah, let me just go to pending offers here. Best name in the biz right now, Quinton McCracken as our second base option. Todd Pretty could be first base. JD Ramirez could be second baseman. Lamar Rogers, center fielder probably. Mark Barcello as a pitching option at only 20 years old. Ralph Ballard, another second base option. Basically, a lot of guys who are going to be auditioning for this club. Neifi Perez could be our actual middle, like, shortstop option. No, he doesn't have any eye, but the contact is there at 19 years old. John Roscos, another catcher option. Jim Kohler, big power bat. So basically, anyone who was free, anyone who didn't want an actual contract, I sent money at. We do have a very good scouting director in Jimmy Freeman. He's only 41 years old. Legendary at amateurs, highly favored tools. Oh, he's going to be good. After burning out of the Braves system. I also have the historical logos and jerseys, courtesy again of Silva M and his group. So let's head to the actual free agency and see if anyone... Oh man, who's going to sign Barry Bonds? We're going to have to just pick up from the bargain bin basement here. I do wish some of these guys would show up in... Well, no, not some of these guys. Danny Cox in particular. Lord knows the bullpen on the British Red Ensigns could use a help. Let's go look at cheapies. Alright, Vic Derensborg. Stuff and movement. I know I said I wasn't going to focus on movement, but if you... Oh, he's asking for 240 grand. Okay, yeah, we're not going to do that. What about Fausto Cruz? Oh, he's kind of a jerk. Okay. Do we have an offer out to Jeff Davis yet? No? Okay, well, fling a minor league contract his way. I'm also trying not... I still don't like having bad personalities on this team. If we can't get a winning club, let's at least make a club that bonds together and plays well. Yeah, let's send a minor league deal out to Dan Ehler. Brian Recker as well. No such thing as a bad minor league deal. And hopefully Jimmy Freeman can continue to grow his scouting accuracy. We just goosed the budget up to the maximum for scouting and for development. We also increased ticket prices by 25 cents. And we'll hopefully be able to pull in enough money to actually get something going there. This is the Scott Rowland draft, by the by. And you'll notice that history has already slightly changed in that the Toronto Blue Jays... Oh wow, lots of trades going on. Alright, Buddy wants a major league deal. I'll pass. Here's Billy Wagner in the draft. You want to talk about a big starter or a big relief option? Could be fun. Carl Schutz, pass. Spezio's available in the draft. He'd be a fun player. He could probably play right out the hop, but I don't think he's going to fall to us. Now, let me just zoom through some of these. Shortstop Mark Loretta doesn't have the power to really fit in with the team. Richie Sexton could do well. Oh, right. We also have to negotiate bonuses. That's going to be fun. Phil Nevin as a multi-position guy. Okay, Phil Nevin, maybe. Scott Rowland is going to be the big get of the draft, you can tell. But then we got a whole bunch of contract negotiations. Interesting to see who comes through the draft. Seguinol. Big power. I can make that work. Do we give Quinton McCracken money now? No, the power bat's not there. Still, I think we were able to get some guys into the minor league. Hey, Ganba, good to see you. Yep, so we've got some folks successfully signed. Down in Arizona. Let's move everyone with like a 30 up to the Sky Sox. Yes, even this... Oh, Dan Ealer's only 17 years old? Okay, maybe not him. Oh, good. JD Ramirez is a captain. We need those. I want to keep Cooler. Feel like he could do well. We don't have anyone to trade, really. Let me double check on the AI side in the game settings. Okay, we did set up trading difficulty to be one notch lower than maximum difficulty, slightly favoring prospects. So really, we don't have much to do. I do think I still have Hall of Fame voting turned on, though. So let's go vote for that. And we'll see if there's an opportunity to correct some historical grievances. Let's see. Vida Blue, Bobby Bonds. Bronze. Rolly Fingers. Bobby Rich, Steve Garvey, Reggie Jackson, Jim Catt, Minnie Minioso, Phil Niekro, Tony Perez. What the hey, Pete Rose. Oh, we are full up. Alright, so who... Get rid of Garvey. Add in Tom Seaver. Ditch save. Put Pete Rose in. Go. Yeah, I don't think he was... Well, keep in mind, 1992, I don't think his permanent ineligibility occurred at that point. head to the first year draft. Because this is MLB, we are not drafting first overall. Fingers crossed we don't go over our budget. Alright, change the scouting. Okay, our scout now has a better idea of who's available in the draft. Ooh, Jermaine Dye would be fun. I mean, Scott Spezio, I think, may still be the best guy. Hey, look, it's future Hanshin Tiger, George Arias. Neat. We all know Charles Johnson goes to the Marlins eventually. We'll see. At some point, you just gotta draft who the best guy is. Derek Beesnats. Interesting. Let's look at his real life stats. Flamed out in single A. Interesting. Big Canadian right-hander. Getting Wagner just as to immediately convert to stopper or reliever would be hella fun. But we'll see who's available to us. Ooh, Bill Mueller. Interesting. Alright. The first overall draft choice in 1992. San Francisco Giants are selecting Scott Rowland. The Philadelphia Phillies will select Derek Lee. All the third basemen are going quick. The California Angels select Jermaine Dye. I always debate whether or not to... Yeah, you know what? We're gonna... I did have, at one point, set this up to be Cleveland as their original name. We may need to fix the logo. Let's go... Let's just force them to be the Guardians. Calling an audible, making my mind up, changing it. Okay. So the Red Sox... So the Guardians got Mueller. Red Sox going for Preston Wilson. Dodgers will take Loretta. Loretta would have been fun. The Athletics... Athletics are taking Johnson. Interesting. Mariners, Loduca. That's a name I recognize. Catcher, first baseman. Cardinals will take Sexton. Astros will go with Nevin, so there goes that opportunity. Minnesota will take... Hey, the Twins took Torrey Hunter again! Oh, that's perfect. Royals, Kevin Millar. That's a name I recognize. Brewers, Michael Tucker. That's a name I don't. Tigers, Julio Zuleta. Coach Ruffy, thank you for the follow. Zuleta might have actually played for the real Tigers. Let me take a look at real life stats. Nope, he was a Cubby. Pirates, one of the amazing catching Molina brothers. Benji, specifically. Yankees will go for a pitcher. Staunch Lee, thank you for the follow. If I'm not mistaken, Coach Ruffy, that makes you follower number 600 on the channel. I am immensely grateful. Thank you so much for all your support. And I appreciate you following and chiming in on the chat. So, based on these folks, Dishman looks fun. Rush would be immensely fun to get. But I think Spezio might be our choice if he's available to us. White Sox will grab Ojeda. Orioles, Amezca. Man, run on catchers right now. The Redlegs will grab Seguinol. Cubbies, Willie Romero, Atlanta. Atlanta took Spezio. Dang it. Alright. Nozamur, the Expos. Jeffrey Hammonds. Mets. Take Eddie Rios, the Rangers. The Rangers took Billy Wagner. Fun. Padres, who won the NL West. We'll take Glendon Rush. So, And the 1992 World Champion Toronto Blue Jays. Jose Luis Sandoval. Off the board choice. Interesting. So it comes to us. The first draft pick of the save. I have my filter on here. This filter is no fragile, no dunces, no slackers. So if you take a look at batting potential, if we're focusing on the power bats, and Todd Green, catcher center field dual wielder, Kareem Garcia, or Lorenzo de la Cruz leap out as the best options. Arias would be kind of fun. Then you get into guys like Roosevelt Brown. Of the remaining batters, it's De La Cruz, it's Singleton. I'm leaning Green. But that he may be our second round choice. Because if we take a look at the pitcher side. Okay, I don't trust they'll actually develop. Oh, neat, Coach Ruffy. Cool. Tim Davis may be a later pick. I like a big stuff guy. Beniaz will not sign with us. I honestly think we go with Dishman. Mostly because he's already developed. I mean, the mock draft said we were going to get Jesus Gonzalez. I don't see it. So unless y'all tell me otherwise, I'm going to go with Dishman as our first overall draft choice. Unless there's something I'm missing in John Thompson that I'm not getting. Alright, staunchly decent Major League pitcher. Keep in mind, I have the ratings engine turned on here. So we are going to be, well, for one thing, finishing up at 1:15. We are rating into Laptop Hound after this, as well as tomorrow. This is self-indulgence week, but I do want to make sure I'm still keeping up on my responsibilities around the house. Edgar Ramos says it's possible to sign. Yeah, do you trust the control on Thompson over Dishman. No, you know what? I'm overthinking this. This is supposed to be a fun save. I've got Cannot Be Fired turned on. I need to cool it. Well, who does my scout think? Scout thinks Lorenzo de la Cruz. Ever be reliable in Coors. Okay, Ganba. So who would you go with? Like, this is the first time I'm doing MLB. This is the first time I'm doing the Rockies. I'm choosing this because I have a fun idea I want to test out in what kind of pitchers I aim for. So Ganba, like, who would you go with here? Jeff Suppan? Yeah, pitchers in Coors. That's why I'm thinking focus on strikeouts, focus on control so you're not walking guys. And if they hit it, they hit it. But if they can't hit it, they're not going to hit it. They're not going to get runs. That's my thinking. I just not sure if... I mean, my scout really buys into De La Cruz. He is a right-handed power bat. Also don't want to spend all day just dwelling on this. At some point, I gotta move on. Okay, so John Thompson was the actual draft choice, I think, of the Rockies. Interesting. Man, where's Sergeant Mushroom when you need him? Ah. So Gamba, you think the movement is the important piece here? See, I was thinking stuff, but if you think movement... Oh, it's not just high home run, it's high everything. Like, maybe we look at adding Andres Lopez as an option later on. I see your point. So you know what? Scout keeps saying go with Lorenzo de la Cruz. Rockies need a 5-man outfield to cover it. Let's see if we can get Thompson to develop. Man, this is... I'm making this into too big of a deal. You know, we still have the expansion draft to come. That'll help flesh out the team. You know what? I'm going with my gut. We'll see if I actually can make this work. If not, you know what? I have other plans. Like I said, I got the fictional baseball league in Japan I can always retreat to if this goes poorly. Dishman, welcome to the Colorado Rockies. Where are the Marlins taking? Chris Singleton. Ooh, okay. A lot of starters, pitching still available. So let's go with a batter next. Roosevelt Brown? Okay. Anthony Sanders. See, every inch of me is screaming, don't pick the guys with a low avoid case, because you know they're going to eventually disappear into nothing. Valentin at least can play multiple positions. Who does my scout think? Juan Brea. Go with the big gap power bat as a catcher. Yeah, actually. Yeah, let's do it. All right, next up will be... Let's see, did we lose our... Oh, we didn't miss out on our reliever options, so we can grab one of Sexton or Davis. Drafting a reliever third, I know, is silly, but when you got stuff like Tim Davis, I feel like he could easily become our relief ace. Let's offer him slot. So, Bieniats, nobody wants to touch him. Interesting. Take a look at the batter's side. Look at the fielding ratings. A lot of guys capping out at 60 infield range. Huh. I guess the league hasn't caught up to having really, really good fielders yet. What about outfielders? Anyone decent? Dom Gotti. Ed Acosta, who plays everywhere. The choices seem to be you can field or you can hit, but you can't do both. Okay. Freddie Noodleback Garcia. Dwan Knighton. Duan. Good name. Scout says go with Schultz. Not feeling it. Toby Smith as a two-way guy, though. Ah, that's true. I don't have to ace this one. I can punt on it and get the next. Julio Santana. We can pair him with someone who can actually control his pitches. Let's go... Let's keep an eye on him and see if he actually shows up later. Now he's thinking Tim Kester. No. Look at the batters. Guillermo Mota. Why? What am I missing here? Let's go with Brooks Kieschnicht. Go to the next round. Hey, Schultz is still there. Great, we'll grab him. Alright. There are 47 rounds of the draft. I keep forgetting how long these things are. Ay, ay, ay. Let's go pitching potential. Where's my stuff, guys? Joe Cerna needs to learn how to aim. Kevin Rowitzer, extreme fly ball with 45 movement. See, that may not play in Coors. Who does my scout think? Kester again? I don't like the low work ethic, but fine. Let's take a look at the batters again. I suspect we may have accidentally zigged when we shouldn't have. Let's go with Landecker. Dom Gaddy as a defensive center fielder, why not? Let's try Toby Smith. Two-way guy. Tracy Peel. I wonder if somebody got Beaniats. Still draft eligible. Oklahoma State. I guess nobody decided to, or maybe somebody did draft him and that's why he's not listed anymore. Hey look, it's Blyleven the Lesser. You know what? Let's I'm going to let my scout figure this out. We're through 10 rounds. That's long enough. I don't want to take up all your time. So who are we negotiating with? So Dishman, Brea, Davis, Kishnicht, and Schultz. And now the expansion draft. I think this will be a fun one to do, and then we'll take a look at our roster, and then I'll raid y'all into Laptop Hound. Okay, Serpentine draft. Marlins get to go first. We limit 3 players per team. Is that right? Is that the way it's supposed to go? $15 players, only 1 player could be drafted from each team in each round. Three-player max. Okay. Here we go. Let's see who's available. And, of course, our scout doesn't know anything about these guys. Oh, no. We are in deep trouble. We may have to rely on OSA for some of these. Florida will take Robin Yount. Wow. Marlins legend right there. A lot of relievers available. Canadian great Rob Ducey. I think we're going to take Brocious. He may not end up playing center field for us, but he can play just about anywhere. Yoink. Who are the Marlins taking? Oh, right, it's Serpentine. We draft again. Rob Deere. Interesting that the Tigers are rocking the City Connect, it looks like. I need to take a look into that and see what's going on. I'm also trying not to take guys who are too expensive given our budget. Again, just like the real Rockies. Who do we got starter-wise? Wow, Stottlemyre's available. Hey now. Michigator, thank you for the follow. Compare Ritz and Hesketh. Ritz? I think we're going to go with Ritz here. And I'm going to take a quick detour to double check what's going on with the Tigers jerseys. Why are they the City Connect? There we go. That's more like it. All right, Marlins will take Deer and Felix Jose. I'm surprised Darren Oliver is available. I mean, being paid minimum, why not? Gilkey with a cannon arm could play right field. Axudian, interesting. Not to be monomaniacal about it, but I do think it'd be fun to just lean all in on this. Frank Bollock, come on down. Let's grab Glenn Allen Hill. Selfish, yes, but he'll provide some decent pop. No, wait. What are we doing here? Of course we're taking Dante Bichette. He's the one guy from the original team I think we need to keep. We owe it to him. And to Bo. They take Gilkey and Mel Hall. Take a look at the fielding ratings. Anyone decent on the... Trent Hubbard, who plays everywhere. Interesting. I think I might grab Greg Olson as a defensive catcher. Or go with Darren Fletcher, who will eventually join the Montreal Expos. Fletcher does match the team's identity a little bit better. What about my shortstop options? Not a heck of a lot. Looks like everyone seems to be capped at that 30. Or at 60. Chuck Carr, the Noodle Bat. How about outfield? Jim Brusky, interesting option, two-way guy. Hey! Jay's broadcaster, Joe Siddle. Forgot he was a player before. Like most people who are broadcasters, of course. I think it's too early to be getting into the hands crew. Maybe we should stick with the power approach. And eventually we'll get to the bullpen guys. Brian Hunter, come on down. John Jeha, Jingleheimer Schmidt. Okay, I can get behind this pick. Conine would also be fun, but I feel like we got too many of the same type of batter In that case. Old man George Bell? No. Troy Neal before he goes to Japan. I keep looking back at Konine versus Jeha. Why am I even looking? No, it's Jeha. We want right-handed power bats. John Jeha Jingleheimer Schmidt. Florida takes George Bell and Brian Harvey. Okay, so now they're looking at the relievers. We got to look at the relievers too. Crud. Yeah, Rob Dibble. Whoa, no, you cost too much. Todd Worrell. We're going to go with Stan Belinda to help out the reliever core. Okay, Scout likes Neil as well. Gotta find some starters of it in this thing. Yeesh. Let's grab Hesketh. Wait, how's our budget looking? Pretty good. We may have increased too much in terms of our ticket prices, but we'll see. I think we can afford him. Let's grab Hesketh. Pending free agent after the season. I'll take the draft pick. We need a ace in the staff. I go with Stottlemyre and Konine. I'm pretty sure Konine was a Marlins draft pick anyway. Yep. Sometimes history repeats itself. Let's grab Greg McMichael. If we can't get a good starting rotation, let's at least build a Bleep U bullpen. Okay, Ranchers, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. And let's go with... I know I said I wanted to focus on stuff, guys. What the hey? Darren O, let's do it. We should get some infielders, though. Maybe a catcher, too. Already got a first baseman. Oliva as a third base guy. Well, let's do that. Zoop. And then we should probably grab a catcher. Do we go with Fletch? Fletcher Olson. One of the two. We're going to go with Darren Fletcher as the younger of the two guys. Houston and Bowie Rodriguez. Now we got to look at our middle infielders. Okay, Pork Chop Poe is a fantastic name. How many third basemen can we afford to draft here? I like Litton. Eventual coach Torey Lovullo. Pat Kelly. It looks like 50 fielding is sort of the default for a middle infielder. Pardon me. OSA seems to like Lovullo more. All right. Let's do it. Now, what do we got in terms of shortstops with any kind of pop? No, shortstops, we want fielding ratings. That's the one area where I'm okay to sell out on. Let's see here. Head Scout seems to think they're both 65, but OSA agrees that. And we're going to go with Mike Benjamin. All right, so there's our shortstop. Kevin Voss and Rob Ducey. So we got one in every position. And I am... Hey, Cheese Truck, good to see you. I am probably behind on claiming my drops, and please make sure you're claiming your drops as well. It is Packy Holidays, doubled the drops all week on all associate channels, including Laptop Hound, who we are going to be raiding into in about 10 minutes. I don't want to grab Dibble because he's way too expensive and a pending free agent. Morel's a pending free agent. Let's go grab Radinsky, though. Get another reliever. And then... Terry Clark, or... Let's go with Terry Clark. Florida takes Jim Wilson and Brian Dorsett. Let's grab Maxudian as a multi-position catcher option. One of Eric and let's grab Choi Neal. Get our left fielder option. How did the Marlins already have so many people? Another former or upcoming manager in Joe Girardi. Did they just add guys to the 40-man roster already? What the heck? Let's add Eric Anthony as well. Scouting director says Jeff King. Yeah, I can get behind that. Lots of options in the bullpen if we really wanted them. Cora doesn't have the beef. Stevenson does. Stevenson may be our starting center fielder. One of the greatest names in the bigs, and Heathcliff Slocum. Scouting director says Alex Arias. Yeah, sure. Florida goes Jack Voigt and Ty Van Berkelio. Do we go with Cora, Guillen? We need a hands crew of some kind, after all. Let's go with Nelson Liriano. 1 year, free agent, why not? Team payroll of $5.1 million so far. Mike Twardowski. Let's go with Cora. Jimmy Scott from the Padres. Mike Magnante from the Royals. At this point, we might start looking for captains. Alright, so here's our captain options. Dan Howard is one. Luis Lopez. Johnny Paredes. Yeah, we're going to go Dan Howard. Now, who's still out there? Let's grab Chris Hill. Take a flyer on him. Brumley and Brumfeld, the two Brums. Billy Ashley's been on this list for a while. Let's grab him. Rich Rowland, another catcher option. So Rebelet and Vatch went. Most of the big power bats seem to be already on their way out. Bean, no. No. Let's go with Greg Litton. And Hasselman. Selfish as he is, maybe he can do something. Maybe he can be a trade target. Ooh, Rohrmeyer I think might be an interesting choice. Especially if my scout's right and theirs isn't. Right. Mitch Williams, lol. Jeff Nelson. Jeff Nelson, what am I waiting on? Yeah, go with him. Keep looking at the starting pitchers and thinking we need more. Sure, Keith Brown, why not? Oh wait, it's not our turn. And we get the last pick of the draft. Keith Brown. All right. Computer manager, set up the team. So our lineup would be Brocious leading off, then King, Dante Bichette, John Jeha, Brian Hunter, learning left field. I'd be okay with that. Tori Lavolo, Mike Matsudian, Mike Benjamin as our shortstop. Rotation of Terry Clark, Kevin Ritz, Mike Magnante, Keith Brown, Chris Hill. Bullpen looks pretty solid between Belinda, Randitsky, McMichael, Nelson. Part of me wants to try putting Darano in the rotation. Let's see how that goes. We're also short one pitcher, but we can fix that. Because I don't think we need to run 18 guys on the bench. So we're off to the races. How much money do we have? We still have $1 million available to us. We're going to have to wait until the tail end of the... let's throw some money Fausto Cruz's way. Maybe these Yutzes can turn into something. Any other cheap starters we can sign? At this point, I just need bodies. Yeah, Ismael Valdez. Surprised he's available right out the chute. Let me get a scouting report on him. Maybe that's who we sell out for. If you can accept a smaller deal. Could go after a Jimmy Jones on a multi-year deal. Old man Dave Stewart. No, wait. Leave him for Toronto. That's where he wants to go. I gotta take a look at the other free agents and see who's available for us. Needless to say, I'm going to withdraw the offer to Quinton McCracken. All right, and we're just about right on time. Laptop Hound is up and running. For some reason, he's marked as a rerun. He isn't. Join me again tomorrow at noon for another episode of this new stream we're doing, the Flying Purple Baseball Beaters. Let's go right into Laptop Hound. Fingers crossed the rest of the week goes well for all of y'all. Time is precious, and I'm grateful that you've chosen to spend some of yours with me today. Firage, take us out, just like old times.